So news came out that Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch will be taking place on August 16th in Las Vegas. Now, I do wish the rematch was taking place earlier than that, because that will set up a mega fight between the winner of that fight, hoping is Gervonta against Shakur. However, Gervonta has other plans. He wants to fight Jake Paul in November, which that's a quick turnaround if you ask me. For Gervonta to fight Lamont Roach, then turn around to fight Jake Paul in November. That's only 2 months apart, and Gervonta has to gain a lot of weight in order to fight Jake Paul, possibly at cruiserweight. Tank did say he wants to fight 3 times this year, and he's on the verge to do so. I'm telling you right now, Gervonta has a tough schedule ahead of him. With the Lamont rematch, even without the Shakur fight, the Jake Paul fight might be a tough fight because there's a huge weight gap. Imagine looking bad against Jake Paul or even getting hurt. And imagine the worst, losing. Man, that will pretty much destroy Gervonta's career. If you don't think Jake Paul has a chance, anytime you fight someone who's 100 pounds bigger than you, that person has a chance. You best believe that. We're not talking about Tank fighting someone out of the street who's 100 pounds bigger than him. We're talking about Tank fighting someone who has been training strictly boxing for the past 5 years. Therefore, the Jake Paul fight might be a tougher money grab than Tank thinks. This is not an easy fight. It's one thing if Tank and Jake Paul were 40 pounds apart, then that would have had been no problem. But for Jake Paul to be 100 pounds nearly bigger than him, he was 220 when he fought Tyson, and Tank fights at 135. Tank being the smaller guy, he's going to have to walk through Jake Paul punches, not get hit, close the gap since Jake Paul is way bigger than him, cut off the ring successfully, and then land the right punch, which is not going to have a huge effect on Jake Paul because of the weight difference. And that's what makes it a tough fight. So, might as well fight Shakur. Either way, Tank has a Lamont Roach problem right now, and Lamont Roach is focused. So, whether Shakur can land the Gervonta fight or not by the end of the year, if Lamont Roach win or lose in the rematch, Shakur should fight him anyways. That's a huge fight, especially if he can outdo Gervonta against Lamont Roach. That being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Aug TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The biggest names, obviously, Gervonta Tank Davis, 13 sellouts in a row, 3 division champions. You and him were very close to fighting. Will we see that in November?
Yeah, no, we're working on it behind the scenes to make that happen, and obviously that's a fight where the fans are going to win, and it's going to be the biggest event of the year.
What way would you fight him at?
We're working on it, but